So I don't know if it's just me or this game is just going absolutely crazy at this point. We are now on the third week. We've got the Bundesliga team of the season, and yet I don't feel hyped at all for anything. Now, obviously, I was trying to quantify this myself and try and figure out what is actually wrong with this game. Because, in general, there's not too much difference. Now, obviously, if you are a big Evolution fan, I think that is probably one of the biggest changes we've had from last year. They obviously introduced Evolutions, and they've done well with them. The problem is they obviously have now taken it to the extreme like anything. The same with the packs. We now have so many different ones that you can do. There's just no excitement in them anymore. Because you know you're getting one a day, one every other day at the absolute minimum. So you don't really have anything new to go with. Evolutions were great when they were one on Friday, one on Monday, one on Thursday, because you never knew what was coming, if they were even coming on them days. Sometimes they missed out on them. And they definitely didn't cost as much in terms of you didn't have so much quantity of them that you didn't have to worry about trying to find 1,000,000 coins a week on Evolutions, let alone not having any free ones. I'm a big fan of the cosmetic. I think that's another way that they can monetize themselves through the nostalgic vibe. I get that. I like that. I think that is absolutely fine. If I want to go and put a team of the season 19 card on my Virgil van Dijk, absolutely, why not? That's something I can choose to do. It doesn't change anything other than the fact my turn with the game. So that I'm absolutely fine with. Obviously, you've got the club members, the Hey Jude, all of that we've had over the course of this game. But in general, the kind of cosmetic side of stuff, I think is fine. There's still a few tweaks that I would do. I think you should be able to change your skin. So if I give Lewandowski this and then I go evolve him, I should be able to keep that skin back on if I should choose to. But we'll get onto that as kind of like the new game comes out. Then the big thing with the evolution, and I think the biggest thing for me when I look at it, is the fact that we can have, for instance, like Saka's debate last week, we have got Elise's with this week. Now, obviously, Elise's phenomenal card, 1.8 mil, a lot better than the 93 Saka we've got. So, 1.8 mil, finesse, technical, rapid, good playstyle pluses. Obviously, the stats are there. We've got some good rolls. In general, you've got the good rolls here. You've obviously got the inside forward plus. Fantastic. But if we go to the 89, that was most definitely packable in the 89 campaign picks that we've been having, you could have got this card many times over. The fact that now we can go ahead and put this one into Kuba's leader, give ourselves the quick step, the first touch, and the finesse, which to me technically, the first touch is going to be better than the technical. The rapid and quick step are interchangeable. I think either or will be fine. Both having the finesse. It may not be the same statted card, but the same pace, 4 better shooting, which is absolutely fine if you look at the stats here. 4 better shooting, obviously, on the 96. 5 better passing, fine, that's okay. 3 better dribbling with only 1 agility, 1 balance, and 1 composure. Obviously, the strength element is going to be way better. I don't really care on a winger. And then you've got better heading accuracy. Again, I don't care on a winger. But also then you've got the difference between the 4-5 and the 5-4, whatever you'd prefer. It's kind of one of them that I think we could spend literally... It's a free evolution, and then if you wanted him for 140k, or if you've got him like I've got him at the moment, I could just go and do that instead of doing the 1.8. That is the biggest problem we've got. We see the same with a lot of the strikers in the mid-tier. When we look at someone like Schick, when we look at someone like Guriassi or Hugo, you could have put a lot of them into the strike force. So if we go to the, say we go to, I suppose the 84, but say we go to the 86, and we go down to the expired, you could have obviously gone up to the strike force, which, yes, would have been the quick step, finesse, and chip shot, but if we added him in here, you look at him in comparison to the 94, if you was to choose Guriassi as your guy, which you could have chose with a lot of players, you've got yourself a pretty high-end card months ago, meaning you might not want the upgrade. Now, obviously, there is a few extra upgrades here and there, but in general, the Strike Force was a massive one, let alone the CR7 SBC, loads of players where the team of the season's no longer hype anymore. You look at the EFL, the Premier League, it's just not there anymore. You've got 1,000,000 coins for Isaac, fair enough. Obviously, Salah's at 3 mil, 5 mil for Virgil, 1.2 for Saliba, but you've got Palmer at 250, Haaland at 320. Where is the hype gone in this game? It is just a simulation of every single time. And somebody, I can't remember the YouTuber who said it, but they basically put it like this: it's just another week. team of the season, it used to be where, yes, the hype was dying in the game. We know that fully, and I get that. A lot of people have got loads of different things to blame. You've got, normally, the start of the game, the first month is bliss. Everybody's loving it. Packs are flowing. Everybody's upgrading the team. Fantastic. We see some new stuff. It's always great. Content's fantastic. Gets a bit stale. Sometimes you're just waiting for an objective to come out. You're waiting for another player to hit. You're kind of then waiting for the team of the year. That's fine. We get team of the year on the way. Very hard to get anybody. You manage to get anybody. It is that dopamine hit like none other. It's incredible. If you've ever got a team of the year, and especially one that you want, the feeling is immaculate, especially because of how hard it is to get one. So that's kind of the big hit. Then you kind of have the small hits. You have a FUT birthday, which I don't think they disappointed this year. I think it did pretty well. Was a little bit crazy, but they did all right. And then normally you kind of have one or two extra SBCs, objectives, something they put into the game where you're like, okay, I kind of like that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The mixture of all of these SBCs, the evolutions, the packs, the upgrades, everything's mashing into one. The gameplay ain't great. The players ain't great to play with. So it's very hard to kind of get a menu grind when you don't really have too much weight. You have too much promo cards. You have a lot of evolutions to do. You're kind of in that cluster of, what do I even do? I need to finish 13 matches of rivals. I need to finish my champs every week. Maybe squad battles, but really everybody kind of gave up on them after the first week anyway. But it's just a constant cycle of trying to do my 1083 times 10s, my daily logins, my team of the season crafting, my SBCs. There's just so much going on that they need to strip it back a little bit. You look at all of these SBCs. This is one of my accounts that I don't use. These are all of the SBCs that are currently available, maybe repeatable, maybe not, but these are all that's available right now in players, in upgrades, in foundations. Everything it's just too much. There's a lot going on every single day, and the problem is the wait in Bundesliga again has been horrendous. 2 days I've done all 83 times 14s, 85 player picks, 83 times 10. I've had 2 team of the seasons, 2 92 strikers that were horrendous. So already that's kind of putting a big X on this promo where I'm like, I just don't even want to do it anymore. Obviously when it comes to the promo packs, I've kind of got my feelings with these. I'm not a big fan. I get it. I get that they wanted to try something different, but when you have got a 325k coin pack or 1,500, which what we're looking at £12 with the discount for 1.5, give or take. You've got 2.8 at 20, 5.9, all the way up to 18.5. This is possibly going to be one of my best FIFAs for not buying coins or points or anything. It's just going to be incredible to not have to do it anymore. So the kind of opposite effect of having so many, it is just crazy. 2 94s, it's what I mean, like 94 team of the season, they're guaranteed. No wonder they're nothing on the market. You're spending what, 20 quid? Pretty much 20 quid to get 2 94 team of the seasons, which if you look at any of them, like we look at them here, 94s Bruno you could get at £44, at 44,000. You've got obviously Sells you can get at 21. You can get anybody else on this side. You can get Lewis Skelly at 180, fantastic. You obviously can get Trent at 74. You could get McAllister at 118, and you get Cunha and also Kirkeres. So there's some solid options, but then also you go into kind of like the female league, 96 and 132, 95 at 28. Are you really hoping that 2 of them are going to be 2 excellent players? It's probably not going to happen. So it's very difficult to get on board with any of these packs, in my opinion. I just think, quite literally, there is so many that there's just not needed. I remember when they were literally just doing 100k packs. It is very, very unfortunate that they just gone off the wall with them. And as soon as we saw that you could get the 150, the 200k pack, you knew full well it was going to get stupid. I said literally on that next FIFA, I was like, that I wouldn't be surprised if a million coin pack comes out and you got like 5 team of the years or something stupid like that, because people will pay it. I mean, I would pay it. Of course you would. For the team of the years you go into, but now we're getting this amount, like this quantity. It's crazy. Now, I don't know what they could kind of do for the gameplay. I think in general, but personally, and it might just be my opinion, obviously this is a team that's from way, way back when. I don't like playstyle pluses. I really don't. I would go back to not having them, having the traits, making the stats mean something again. And I get, once you get to the end of the game, it makes it very difficult for the progression. The reason why they've added the roles, the playstyles, the playstyle pluses is to add more layers. When you look at a lot of these cards, like for instance, if we go for a Kane, I suppose Kane's got quite a few cards. So you look at him from the very start, obviously you got the bog standard, no pace. So okay, first thing we sort out, we'll give you pace. We'll keep increasing it. We'll get to 82. Fantastic. Now you've got pace. You've already got the shooting. Okay, now we give him some dribbling. We give him some passing, physicality. And then we go up. We keep going up. So you're like, okay, well that's not going to be enough. What else can we give him? We'll give him a playstyle plus to start with. Better than the rest. No one else has got a playstyle. Then it's, okay, we'll give you 2 playstyles. Fantastic. Well, what happens when then? Then we'll give you 3 playstyles. And then we won't even give you 3. We'll just go straight over to 4. Does it matter what they are? Of course it does. But then the question is well, what are the roles? Are the roles good enough? Have you got the advanced forward plus plus? Have you got a poacher plus plus? How do you play? Are you out wide? Are you in wide? What can you do? When you sub them on, do they fit that role? It's so many levels to it that I just think in general, they don't need them. Simplicity is the absolute bliss when it comes to this game. And I get that the evolutions, the SBCs, the progression, how many promo cards they give us, that they're going to have something that defines a different level. A single, double, triple, quadruple playstyle. It makes sense. Then you throw the rolls in. I don't like the rolls either. And I'm moaning about the kind of the older game style. And I get it. You've always got to progress. You've always got to try and make things better. But when it's not been better for years, sometimes you got to kind of revert a little bit back, or you've got to really figure it out before you just kind of keep shoveling the same. Because I get the roles. It works to an extent. I just think the problem is now we're getting to the end of the game. That's having a massive, massive impact on who you're actually going for. And to be honest, at this point, a lot of people are just choosing not to bother with them. As long as they've got the plus, you're absolutely fine. And Kane's got all of them, obviously, in his target forward, which is fine. But it's going to get to a point where you just cannot be bothered to do them. And I think another problem that we've got is it's just a rinse and recycle every single day. You come in, you think, okay, what upgrades we got to do today? I got my 83 times 14. Not a problem, let's go and do this. We'll go squad builder, we'll go gold, we'll go low, high, storage, absolutely. We'll then obviously throw in a few more upgrades. In fact, we'll go, so this is a new team actually. We'll go obviously golds, we'll go high to low in the club. Okay, we've got them in. We'll then throw a team of the week in, which is fine. We'll then keep grinding, and it's just a constant cycle of the same every single time. So it is at that point where you're just thinking, when does it stop and do we get anything different? Because at this point, if this carries on, I don't see the game making it to the end for footies. It is genuinely just quite boring. And that is such a shame to have, because the game itself, it doesn't necessarily have light every single month of the year, but most definitely Team of the Season was kind of that bridge to the end. You get to the end of the game, we get a brand new one, new ratings, new teams, new players and clubs. You get a whole new brand new FIFA, and it's bliss again. But unfortunately, it's again to the point where you're just like, well, what's the point? 83 times 14 in Team of the Season, we get absolutely nothing. Not even a walkout to finish this. It's just criminally crazy. So for me, I think there's a lot that they need to be changing, and I'm hoping they take it in their stride and they think, okay, maybe for next year we get something different. Maybe they try and focus on an area. I love the evolutions. I think for your players like, for instance, a Leeds team or something, it's fantastic. You are building a squad that you normally wouldn't actually get, which is fantastic for the lower clubs, and I think that is brilliant to have. But in general, it's not doing the games any favours, because that's the biggest problem with upgrading. When you can go and get a Saka at the same level from using his gold card, and Elise, a 1.8 million Team of the Season, versus a card that you could have got months ago that just goes into an evolution. It's poor timing. It's the same day they come out, that evolution comes out. So already it's in your mind to do that. So for me, it's just an interesting thing that EA do need to change. Even champs, to be honest. At this point in the game, I don't even need to do them. We already said this with the last video a while back, is the fact that you don't need to actually do champs, and the rewards you get up to, I'd say 9 wins is incredible. It's a very good rating, and you think, well, I can get a 1 of 3, 93 Bundesliga or female GP FBL. I'm going to get a lot of the chances to get the female Bundesliga. What is the point? I might as well not bother with it, because 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to get. At least last time round, you'd get just the Bundesliga. So you could get a chance of the better cards that you truly want. So it is a big factor, and it's not necessarily because they've added the female in there that it's worse. It's the fact that you've got the weight that's worse. Don't take it that it's just like, if I went and got, for instance, who's the best female card that we've got at the minute, if I went and got Harder, I'd be ecstatic still. But the chances is not necessarily that we don't get one of them. It's the fact that we've got more cards at 17,000 coins within this pool. It used to be, because if you just got Bundesliga, this was the limit that we had. So the likely chance of getting something good was slim, but it's still a big pool to, well, it's a smaller pool to get it from. Adding in another team, and let alone that, having so many of another team in there, there's such a chance that you just get 3 options of 15k, maybe even a 50k if you're lucky. That is the problem. It's not that it's both teams. It's there's too many players in there. Unless they're going to add the rating that it's a 95 guarantee, which they're just not going to do, because it's going to be too much of a weight. They are so in rating that you're just going to get the lowest anyway. So that's the kind of big thing. I think there's a lot of points being made for that is not reiterating that it's not just that it's the female league in there, it's the fact it widens the pool. If you was to get a 1,000,000 coin female player, you're not going to be mad at that. It's the fact that you're not going to get that is the problem. It puts it further away in comparison to what you actually want to do. So it needs to change, and to be honest, I really don't know what can change for this. I think in general they need to find a focus. It's either you're following down the evolution path, you're following down the SBC path. The coin path from the packs is just going to get worse and worse. What is the actual control? Because it's either you need to upgrade the cards even more, so we go over that 99, so there's not just a threshold of having to be going from a 93 to a 95, because then you could do a 93 to a 96 and really get that jump up. So I think that would be a really good chance to change. You could find a 5th playstyle plus in there potentially in footies, and this won't be this year, it'll definitely be more next if they're going to do it. I just think that ceiling cap already is going to be massive when you do look at some of these cards, especially somebody like a Sala. There's too many of the same card. Within the first 2 months, we had 3 90s. Why? We then got a 91, another 91, a 92. Then we jumped up to the 95. Obviously, you already had the team of the year. And then we jumped to a 97. If we didn't have the cap of a 99, we could have jumped for him at a 99 now. Footies could be 105. You could jump up way more in that aspect, and it could make cards more expensive, and it could just mean the upgrade's worth something a little bit. So I don't know. Let me know down below what you think. I just think the changes, the team of the season is possibly in the worst position I have actually ever seen FC in. And it's quite concerning to see it at this sort of level during the most hype period of the game. Team of the season was always incredibly fun. Packing even the mid to low tier team of the seasons was enjoyable at the very minimum. Now, like I say, I've logged in 2 days in a row, done a fair, like 15 to 20 big to little SBCs, and I've got 2 team of the seasons that don't even scratch my reserve. I don't know. Let me know down below if it's just me. What do you think? And I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.